Hello, my name's Kiye, and today we'll be talking about the first boss in Heart of Fear, Imperial Vizier Zor'lok. This is a one-tank fight. We use 3 healers and 6 DPS. Zor'lok has 4 phases, 1 per platform, and a burn phase that begins at 40%. The encounter begins with Zor'lok in the center of the room. Have your tank throw something at his head, and he will fly either to the right or to the left. Zor'lok will have his first ability the entire fight. He will exhale a yellow death beam onto a random player, stunning them and dealing increasing damage over time. The tank will interrupt exhale by standing in between the affected player and the boss. After exhale, the boss will use his first special. On the right side, this is Force and Verve. Force and Verve causes players to take 160k damage per tick. Mitigate this by getting under one of the 3 yellow shells. Shells can hold up to 4 players at a time, so assign them before the fight. Move quickly through the silencing yellow gas. At 80%, Zor'lok will switch phases and fly to the next platform. He will start with an exhale, tanks will intercept, and happiness will ensue. Zor'lok's left platform ability is Attenuation. Much like Atramedes in Blackwing Descent, Zor'lok will send rings of yellow sound spiraling from his body. The rings can and do bounce off the walls of the platform, so watch your backside as well as your front side. Avoid attenuation and survive exhales until 60%. Zor'lok will change phases and fly to the platform. And Phase 3 is the easiest phase of the fight. Zor'lok will pair his exhale with a standard 2-person mind control. DPS affected players to break them free from the Song of the Vizier's people. At 40%, Zor'lok will fly back to the center of the room, beginning the final phase. At the end of the 3rd phase, before his first phase 4 ability, you'll have about 10 to 15 seconds of DPS time on Zor'lok. This is the best time to use Bloodlust or Heroism. He will have access to all abilities from all other phases and will use them in random order. Phase 4 attenuations seem to spawn more rings than normal, and Zor'lok will cycle through his abilities very quickly. It's not uncommon to have attenuation rings barely fading when Force and Verve bubbles are beginning to spawn, or to have players still mind controlled at the beginning of the next special ability. Hoard DPS and healing cooldowns during the relatively easy 3rd phase. You'll need all of them during the hectic 4th phase. There's no pattern to how Zor'lok will use his abilities in the final phase. It doesn't appear that he'll use the same ability twice in a row, and he may use one ability significantly more than another, and it can be a real pain depending on what order he decides to throw at you. Beware. Being careful and practicing good situational awareness is the most important part of the final phase, but don't forget Zor'lok does have an enrage timer. It's about 10 minutes, which should give you plenty of time to down the boss, even using 3 healers like we did. That's about it. Hopefully this guide was helpful. My name is Kiye, and happy looting! And don't forget to sacrifice a shaman.